We are the Institute for Intuitive Intelligence, revolutionizing intuition by training spiritually fierce women globally as qualified intuitive intelligence trainers. Subscribe now to stay up to date with the leading edge research and innovation in the science of intuitive intelligence. Hello, dear beloveds. I am sitting in my car on this glorious, cold Melbourne morning, and I have a few minutes till I am meeting some friends. So I wanted to jump in and say hello. I haven't done a live in a couple of days, and of course, as always, something has jumped into my consciousness and I want to share it. And when I was walking yesterday, I was thinking about the work of the Institute to lead this revolution in consciousness, really this revolution in the way that we think about consciousness, and in particular, our commitment to disrupting the status quo of intuition education. And I want to talk a little bit about why that matters to me. And I think if you are someone who uses intuition in any way in your service, then you need to hear this. And you need to, I hope, take the personal responsibility that I feel like I've taken to really transform and deepen my understanding of what intuition is. So one of the things that I am really challenged by is that we have in spirituality, in the spiritual industry, it doesn't matter if you're an intuitive business coach or a healer or a psychic or whatever way you work with intuition, if you use intuition in your work, what bothers me is that we have accepted this very, very shallow level of understanding of intuition as though it is the heights of intuition. And so we do ourselves this massive disservice sitting in this space of really offering to those that we serve something that is really so very little compared to the truth of the power and potency of intuition in its full form. And to me, like anything we do, if we are selling what we do and people are investing in us, our job should be to be as educated as we can on what we're using and why we're using it. And I take that responsibility really seriously, that commitment to professional development. We build it into the third level training, that there is annual recertification. You have to stay current with these skills because the knowledge that we have is also growing and changing very rapidly as our understanding of the true nature of the cosmos and consciousness and how it all functions changes. So I believe that there is a responsibility we hold if we use intuition in our work to invest in our own education, to understand what it truly is, how it truly functions, and to stop offering to ourselves and to others a really superficial version of what intuition is. And so what I'm speaking specifically about is we largely understand and share biological forms of intuition. And we are largely offering that to those that we serve. So what we are doing then is cutting ourselves off from our highest form of intuition, which is non-local intuition. And understanding the function of intuition is a science, and there is amazing science behind it. But there's also a depth of research that we are doing as part of the Institute, as part of our work in this kind of living, breathing way. Oh, it's getting warm because I'm getting excited. Take my jacket off. So that's really my kind of provocation today, is that if you are using intuition, you have a responsibility to know what the power of intuition is, to educate yourself, to keep being committed to getting deeper into your own skills and capacity. And I see in our industry, the reason I want to disrupt our industry and disrupt intuition education specifically, is that we have no commitment to ongoing professional development. Most of the courses we do won't ask us to show up again and to keep really current. They're not innovating those modalities and practices. The teachers aren't necessarily innovating, they're replicating what they've done and maybe what's been done for thousands of years. And we are beyond the end times, and we are in an age where we are rapidly adapting. Our consciousness is evolving so quickly, our understanding of what we are, and this commitment to this innovation and to education, I believe, is the only ethical way for us to work if we're using intuition in our service. And yet I see such a resistance to this idea of education because, like, you know, it's just intuition, it's just innate. We should just, you know, it's my own journey, and that's such bullshit. Because if you are using this in your work, if intuition forms any part of your work and you don't understand its truth and you don't invest in getting that knowledge, then you're actually behaving really unethically. And I see this real resistance to this idea of education. And if we do have a willingness to educate ourselves, it's usually by, you know, jumping from one kind of bright, shiny thing to the next. We'll do 2,000 different kinds of modalities or practitioner trainings or whatever, or courses, but we won't go deep in the same area. We have this resistance to going really deep in spirituality in a lot of ways. And I really believe that has caused us to inadvertently be the cause of harm in many cases, rather than being what we should be, which is the leading edge thinkers of our time. The spiritual innovators are the ones who I believe can really change the world for the better right now. And I really get very frustrated with this idea that going deeper into the same thing, or sitting with the same teacher, or really anchoring into your work and increasing your power in the way that you are already working, or expanding on that seems to be out of step. It's like I have to jump from one thing to the next, and you know, that is really satisfying for the ego, lots and lots of new information all the time, but there isn't ever then that challenge or that phase of sitting with the discomfort of, like, is this all there is? Can I go deeper? Is there more that I can offer? And what I see in the majority of those who use intuition or share intuition in the world is that they are sharing a very, very narrow version of what intuition truly is, and offering us a very shallow conversation, very shallow set of skills and tools. And so, yeah, I believe that there is this duty to show up in a bigger way to our work, and to understand there's not intuition, there are intuitions. Within those intuitions there are subcategories. You know, we're doing really exciting, innovative work in this area with the way that we're looking at consciousness through the phases of intuition, and how to develop our consciousness, which is always the goal, right? And the intuition's a lovely byproduct of that, to be able to see our own spiritual agency and maturity in the work that we do. And this is, I guess, the crux of what I'm saying, is we have a very immature relationship with our spirituality, and especially with our intuition. But I really, really believe that we can go deeper, and that we can have a more mature conversation around intuition, and that we can have a deeper relationship personally and then professionally. And that's where it really matters, is that we are absolutely anchored into the power of our work, and not sitting in the shallow end of the pool and offering trinkets and superstitions of the new age that do not understand the truth and depth of what we are really excited about. So I'm very excited that the next book is going to be coming out, the public book, Superconscious Intuition, by the end of this year, and that we are up-leveling all of our training in the third level with the publication of our new book for our trainers, which I believe will really support us all as well. So much love to you all.